Let me just get Saugata in and then Tuhin can respond to all of this. So Saugata, what is the demand? Tuhin will say, how does 1 month make a difference? What would your answer be to that? And why haven't you, for example, asked for an online session instead? That would make people feel that the opposition is not serious either.
No. If we go by Tuhin's argument, then if it can be postponed for 1 month, why not postpone it for 1 year? We can have an emergency. We follow the logic of Tuhin's argument. The fact is that the budget session is a budget session where the principal business is presentation of the budget and passage of the budget and the finance bill. The winter session or the other sessions apart from the budget session are normally held to pass legislation and also raise matters of urgent public importance. Now, there are several, as Radhika correctly pointed out, there are several important legislations pending which ought to have been passed. But more than that, think of the farmer star. If the government is proposing to the farmers that they want amendment to the farm bills, they've called parliament and come forward with their arguments, with their presentation. And we could have asked for repeal or withdrawal of all the bills. Yeah. This was most necessary, and if even now the government wants to assure the farmers, the best way is to call a session of parliament and then present whatever legislative proposals they have.
What are you all planning to do about it? What are you all planning to do about it?
The parties have to take a decision on postponing the session, but the strange thing is that in a parliamentary democracy, the government does not want to hold a session. Even if we hold 100 demonstrations outside, the fact will not change. The session will not be held. After all, the clearance must come from the government. But you have to remember that the convention in parliament has been to have a budget session, a monsoon session, and a winter session. Now, if a government wants to do away with democratic norms or conventions, it's free to do so at its own peril. Why are they dispensing with a whole session, the winter session? That is something we object strongly. Maybe there will be some protests, etc., etc. But the main thing, the main protest is taking place on the doors of Delhi. All the roads leading to Delhi are blocked. The government does not even care to call a session of the parliament to discuss the farmer star and bring their legislative proposals on the farm laws before the parliament. That I find is trying to get away from democracy, and that has been the attitude of the Narendra Modi government all along. One party, one religion, one country. All these slogans have been given by them, and that is where we are traveling towards. The country does not rise up in protest, then bad times ahead of us.
Okay, let me